Hey everybody, welcome to another session of the Era of the Dragons, a little D&D game that we put on right here. I'm Archangelic. I'll be the GM tonight. Um, let's go ahead and introduce our players. We'll start with you, Silver.
Hi, everybody. I am Silver_Bulette here on Twitch as well as over on YouTube. My pronouns are he, they. And I will be playing Finciris Roxalar, a gem dragonborn. Her pronouns are she, her.
All right, and Jaden.
Hey, I'm Jaden. I also go by Soliloquy. I use they, them pronouns. I will be playing a tiefling barbarian named Grief. Grief uses he, they pronouns and a combat wheelchair. The combat wheelchair is designed by Sarah Thompson, who you can find on Twitter under Mustang's Art, and I am a wheelchair user in real life. That's why I use it in game.
All right, Penny.
Hello, I'm Penny. I use they pronouns, and still adjusting. And I will be playing Gift, who is a human warlock druid multi-class, and she uses her pronouns.
All right, and like I said, I'm Archangelic, aka Mal. And my pronouns are she, her, and I'll be running this game tonight. Let's start off with a little recap of what's going on. After a mission gone awry to find where a dragon-worshipping cult known as the Restoration was sending looted items, you fell into the Underdark. You met a horned devil who went by the name of Corian, who had given up the devilish life and taken up raising cattle. You quickly made friends and agreed to help him sell his cheese in the Underdark city of Valhammer. After successfully selling the cheese and making friends with another merchant, you began to go back to Corian, give the profits of that transaction to him, and introduce Gan, a wine merchant, to him. Gan also agreed to guide you up a subterranean mountain, one of the two closest ways to make your way back up to the surface. After all this, you set out. Partway up the mountain on the probably sarcastically named Bridge of Fortune, you were beset upon by a young red dragon by the name of Sanacilla the Lava Bather. You managed to fight her off, while she complained that she was told you would be easy prey. After all this has happened, you have decided to settle in and have a rest. So, Gan knows of another way around, so you don't have to take the bridge. And he tells you he usually doesn't like to go this way because there's often goblins all throughout here. They shouldn't be a problem. They're more of a nuisance than anything else. Never run into any hobgoblins or bugbears, but occasionally you see a goblin. But you come to another path that slowly, you can tell that the elevation is slowly rising as you continue on to find a safe place away from the river of lava to rest. And he brings you to, he walks a certain amount of ways and says, all right, this should be a good place to rest for a little bit. And he unrolls a blanket that he has and sits down on the ground. The walls in this place are still volcanic, like it was once, maybe a lava tube of some sort. And in here, there are several alcoves along this pathway. Go ahead and give me perception checks.
Rolling digital dice because I'm not prepared. Here we go. And that's a 3. That's fitting.
15 for me.
That's a 5.
5. Okay. All right. Well,
And 14 for Elric if you want that.
all right. 14 for Elric. Okay. So, Grief, you're looking around. You know, there's been a mention of goblins, and so you're just, giving the place a little glance, and you see that in these alcoves, there's about 6 of them in here. This is kind of a more rounded out space, and the path continues to narrow a little bit ahead of you. And there's these alcoves. One of them you see the faint flickers of candles in one of them. But as you're looking and scanning, you see that some of them are covered, completely marred with graffiti, or scratched out. Some of them, it's too dark to see into, but you see that at least 3 of them have paintings and objects just kind of set into them. But one of them has faint candlelight.
Hey guys, there's some faint candlelight up ahead. I don't know if someone might be up there.
I can go check real quick if you want me to.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Y'all just be prepared for me running back, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is only like maybe 10 feet off from where you are. It's not a huge space, but it is you do have to walk over to get a closer look. And you see that you go over to the one that has the candlelight.
Yeah. As quietly, as close to hugging a wall as I can.
Make a stealth check.
Okie dokie. Ooh, see, that's why you want the natural dice. That's a 20 plus things. 28.
Okay. Yeah. So you go to this shrine. Well, what turns out to be a shrine. You don't see anybody here. But what you do see is that an amateurish painted mural is along the inside of this alcove. It totally dominates the space in this in here. And it's of a female bugbear clothed in bright green wrappings. She's depicted looking straight forward, and she's holding a sleeping goblin baby. Her name is written in goblinoid, or what you assume would be her name, but there's an inscription of goblinoid underneath it. There is a concerningly large spider leg left here as an offering amongst the lit candles.
Okay.
You can go ahead and make a religion check for me.
It's not as good. That would be an 11.
An 11? You're not sure who this is or what this is supposed to be of.
That's fair. Okay. But there's this dead spider thing.
Yeah, it's just like the leg of a spider. Like,
oh, okay. Huh. All right. Nothing else seems to be of any sort of interest in this area, right?
There's a few other alcoves that have various things in them. That's the one that's lit up, though.
Okay. Yeah, and there's no other paths that are catching my eye lighting wise.
As you're over here, make another perception check for me. Well, I mean, actually, you rolled high enough. Like, you rolled that stealth high enough. So roll a perception. Roll another perception.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, my perception was 3, and okay, all right, dice. Man, I hope we don't get into a fight because I'm in trouble because that's another 20. So,
oh,
21.
okay.
Using up all my luck.
You do see that they're too small for you to crawl into, but for a small creature, you might be able to crawl into this space. And there's kind of these smaller tubes that offshoot into the pockmarked wall. And it seems some of them are well traveled.
Okay. I'm just gonna cautiously look down them. Are any of them giving off any light. I do not have night vision.
Okay.
Dark vision. There's the word.
You do not see any light down these.
Okay, cool. We'll head back and let everybody know what I just saw. It's some sort of ritual site. No one is over there, and none of the pathways are lit up. So I think they just left an offering. They might be worshiping some sort of bugbear. Anyway, we're still. I think I didn't hear anything going on, so I think we're safe.
Okay, good deal, good deal.
By the way, I will take watch if y'all want. I'm feeling pretty all right. If y'all just need to rest up for a little while.
Alrighty.
That'll work.
We're just doing short rest.
The hour, yeah.
All right, awesome.
Okay. So you're taking a short rest. Gift. You start to hear a whispering, and then a voice speaking to you in Abyssal. And it says, "Didn't you look so powerful there?"
The voice I know, I'm assuming here.
Yep. A voice very familiar to you.
Uh-huh.
And you look around, and walking behind your sitting companions is this strange crow creature. The voice is familiar, but this form is odd.
Okay.
And it comes around and places its hand on Grief's shoulder and just looks at you and says, "You pretend to be this little servant girl, so meek and so helpless. And then you seek the power to take down dragons. And so interesting."
She shakes her head.
Grief and Fen, make perception checks or insight checks as you are seeing Gift do this.
That's an 11 either way, but I was 4 insight.
18 perception.
You definitely see Gift shake her head, Fen. Grief, she's looking over your shoulder.
She definitely, after shaking her heads, makes mouth movements, but there's absolutely no sound. She reaches for her board, and her hand kind of seems to stop. And then she casts Create Bonfire behind you at the crow thing.
Okay. Make a spellcasting check.
What would that be?
I think we'll just say it's a wisdom check.
Okay. Straight wisdom is +2. That's a 1, so 3.
A 3. It makes a bonfire behind Grief, but it doesn't affect. It looks like the creature's standing in the fire, but it's not affected. And Grief, do you look over your shoulder?
Yeah, I would probably heads up, Gift. Are you okay?
I'm assuming that Grief doesn't say anything.
Yeah. How do we do this? Make a charisma save for me. Gift, make a charisma save.
This I'm reasonably good at. Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. I will say that you can non-verbally communicate something. You can push past this curse just enough.
To Grief?
Yeah.
Non-verbally, Gift communicates intense hatred and anger at a threat.
Yeah.
It is definitely not normal for Gift to be intense about anything except for food.
Right, right.
Oh, so tenacious. As it moves unnaturally quickly towards you. The smell of power, the smell of everything you've ever wanted.
Can it read Gift's thoughts?
Maybe.
Okay, well, Gift is thinking very loudly, in case it can. Something to the effect of, fuck dragons, I'm going to kill you.
That's it. That's it. Yes.
Poor Gift.
And Grief, you see nothing. Except for, the massive bonfire that like lit up behind you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Is it warmer in here right now? That seems weird.
Elric has moved over to warm his hands in the fire.
That's
Thanks.
amazing.
Thanks, Gift.
Perfect, Elric. Gift was about to dispel it, but leaves it alone now.
Never hurts to have a fire.
I mean, she can't do anything. She's really frustrated.
Make a wisdom save for me.
Respectable. 12.
12. You can feel that you get the sense, actually, with the 12. I'm gonna have you make a. Are you proficient in Arcana?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I actually have any of the. Yeah, I don't have any of the knowledges.
Okay.
This thing seems to be enjoying her getting angry. She is going to actively try to calm herself down.
Okay. That's
Like-
easy enough. Yeah. Easy enough for you to do. And it says, "Oh, well, you're no fun."
She is actively trying to like breathe at a measured pace and like basically do like the basic druidic meditation and mantras, because that's why she became a druid in the first place, was to try to beat this. So if you will, she's focusing on her druid levels instead of her warlock levels, because she doesn't know what else to do.
Griefful, I'll move over toward her, obviously seeing that she's distressed. I'll put my hand on her shoulder and I'll just deep breathe with her and try to do the, calming down the nervous system thing.
I am sure that is helpful.
I don't know what the hell is going on, but I know a little bit of something about panic and distress. So
All these friends you have, they'll die. They'll go away. The things that I'm doing, the things that you can't stop, the things you want to stop, it's all going to go wrong for you as it slowly backs its way into the darkness.
Well, my poor little gray Jedi, she's doing everything she can to calm herself down, but if it can read her thoughts, she's still, part of her brain is like, I'm going to kill it. I am going to wipe it into the dirt. But she's trying to quiet that part.
As it backs away into the shadow, the last thing you see is the beak with the surprising amount of teeth that smile and the eyes that glow back away into darkness.
Poor Gift. Once she's calmed down, I mean, honestly, she'll look at you, Grief, and just sort of shake her hands. She can't communicate about it anyway.
it'll be okay. We'll figure it out. For now, just try to rest.
How's Gan looking in all this?
Dan is watching this all happen. He's the stranger among you. He's, trying to maintain composure, but sees that something is clearly wrong.
So Gan, I'm assuming because you went to that bridge is recently damaged, right?
Oh, yes. Whatever earthquake happened as we approached, whatever that dragon did to it's been fine. As far as I know, it's been fine for centuries.
Got it. You said you don't use this path we're on often. Have you used it ever?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh yeah. You said that you haven't used this path very often. I'm just trying to figure out, have you ever used this path?
I mean, I have. I've hired other guides to help me down here that have brought me this way. It's a pretty straightforward path, a little bit longer than, and time is money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know about the goblins worshipping particular things? Possibly some sort of bugbear? Ring any bells?
Let me roll. He says, that's not familiar to me. Don't know much about what goblins worship.
Okay,
I don't do much business with them.
got it.
That would be more religion rather than arcana, right?
Yes, it would be religion. But you can roll a religion check. You do speak goblinoid, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, go ahead and
It's
just
only got like a whopping +2.
That's not bad for not being proficient.
16.
How much so Fen, how much did you describe of the
I mentioned everything that I could in basic details, including there being script that I didn't understand
Well,
underneath.
it's close enough that I could just go look at it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I'll just take that better look, closer look at it.
Okay. You go towards it and you see the same thing. As you're walking by, though, you see something else in a nearby alcove as you're walking over, something heavily familiar to you. There is one of the alcoves. It doesn't have any light or anything, but there is a canvas, like maybe 2.5 feet tall, placed in there, like leaned in the alcove. It looks like somebody had taken charcoal and volcanic dirt, smeared it onto the background, and like finger painted, like almost in a hurry, in like these red and orange pigments, a woman wreathed in flame. And there are used torches set in here. You know this deity. It's Rhea. It's the deity that Tempest worshipped.
Hmm.
The torch in the night. A manifestation of the brightest star in the sky. You know all about her. And it looks like this alcove has become a way for people to share their light. As on their way out, they put their torches here for people going in to pick up.
Cool. I'll relay all that. For the sake of brevity, I'll just relay all that.
Don't have to be brief if you don't want to, but yeah. And you come to the lit altar, and the inscription says Grenna, and you know a little bit about goblins and goblinoid culture from a little bit of proximity here and there. And this is she's also known as the Cave Mother. She is a patron deity of goblinoid children to protect them from the harmful things that live in caves. The spider leg makes a lot of sense here. Somebody killed a spider and offered a piece to her. She's the one who would fight off spiders as well.
Oh, fantastic. Hate spiders. It's nice to have an anti-spider. Something in here.
Do you relay that you're... Do you relay
I
just
won't
about...
relay anything about Tempest. I'm
Okay.
just going to relay the direct information.
Okay. Well, all right. I guess knowing that they worship this Grenna might help us possibly get by them if we just explain we're just passing through and not here to harm them. Maybe.
Yeah, I would think so.
Feel like that's a tack we could use.
For sure.
All right. Everybody feeling rested up? Words are hard.
Oh yeah. Feeling much better.
Gift will leave a tree fruit and a torch.
Okay. Yeah, there's one other shrine that hasn't been graffitied, and inside it is it looks like an egg covered in cheap glass beads. He sits in the alcove amongst like several other baubles and things. Some of the beads have been plucked out. Maybe they were more valuable than the other glass beads on here. Yeah. You can roll a religion check.
Okay, will do. Let's see if that worked.
That's a 7.
That's 6. I'll see your 7.
19.
19. Okay, with a 19, this is for it's worshipped by she's worshipped by others, but she's mostly worshipped by Dragonborn. Exilia the Jeweled Worm, WYRM, and she's kind of worshipped by miners and prospectors, merchants, and some dragons. So she is a kind of a fortune goddess, a goddess of a hoard.
Before we set off, Grief will take 1 more minute by themselves in the altar room. I'll leave a torch. Let's hope you show up for us better than you showed up for her. And I'll walk out. Or roll out, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you make your way out of here. It still takes a while to get out of here, but you do make your way up to the surface. And the light hits your eyes. It's very bright out here. It's very muggy wherever you've ended up. And Gan says, okay, he says, we're not far off from one of the main roads here. If you go a little bit to the east and then head north, you'll run right into the city of Zarkan. And from there, you should be able to make your way to wherever it is you're trying to go.
All right. Well, again, thank you for your help. I hope you do right by our friend down there. He's trying to make good. At least we think so. And yeah, good luck.
I've never met anyone with quite his talents, especially in the Underdark. I think it'll work out just fine for him and I both. I, of course, will need to head back. I need to, I don't really have business in Zarkan right now.
Oh.
Of course, we appreciate that you took us this way.
Don't forget to pick up some wine on the way back, just so you can get some stuff to sell.
Oh, I'm stocked up for now. I'll make another. I have a whole caravan that I'll need to bring up to the surface and bring back down.
Gotcha.
But
in that case, just watch out for dragons.
Yes, that. I didn't know you. It seemed like that dragon knew you. I'd forgot to ask about that. I didn't know if it was my business.
Yeah, apparently it's not our business because I don't understand what that statement was. Frankly.
I had no idea there was a dragon looking for us. That's weird.
Yeah.
Well, then I should probably tell you to look out for dragons. That seems like a more of you problem at this point.
It is becoming a theme for us, I will say.
Yeah.
How long was the journey up?
I'll say it was probably the better part of the afternoon.
Oh, so in total, like when we left the city to the surface.
So we'll say that the whole journey was probably 12 hours.
Oh, so just a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He says, although it's a week from the city, and then from the ranch, it was 12 hours from there. So
it was actually something like 6 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been gone for like 2 weeks since you fell into the Underdark. Yeah. So he will he says, do you want the ox? I believe it's your ox, right?
I think we borrowed the ox.
You think I should take it back to Corian?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's Corian's ox. I think he'd appreciate it back. If he doesn't expect it back, then tell him we didn't want to part him from his ox.
The ox has already tried to push down a tree to eat the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's never seen trees before.
They look delicious.
He says, okay, I'll return the cow.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Be safe, adventurers.
Thank you. You as well.
And he will head back down into the Underdark.
I'm really looking forward to whatever the fantasy equivalent is to the Olive Garden. That's sure to follow these two. A weird booming specialty tavern.
Man, the Olive Garden, it's like the Olive Garden in the Midwest, just saying Olive Garden and the Underdark would probably be exotic enough. Yeah, you continue your way. So basically, where's my map? I usually have it sitting here. Maybe I used it as a bookmark. Probably what I did. Yes, that's what I did. I'm running Tomb, and so I have to put every scrap of paper multiple places in that book. So
should we head back to the inn at the end of the road? I am kidding, of course. Sorry. Just,
Ulrich looks at you confused for a moment and this, oh, you're kidding. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think we need to continue on into town and actually figure out what's going on. And also let them know there's some people working under their noses.
Yeah.
Gift looks at you like this, kind of the scrunched mouth.
Sorry.
I think they already know.
Yeah, is very possible.
She writes roads and weapons, remember?
So do we want to head back to y'all's town then and let them know that the city seems to have been taken over by these cultists? Not even bother with Sarkhan, or what's the thought here then?
Quick check-in out of game. Zarkan is not where we were at before. We were at the Elven town.
Yes, y'all were near Vrusea.
Vrusea, that was it.
My bad.
Sorry, just...
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, anything geography or lore related, please clarify with me. That's something I have.
Zarkan, if I remember correctly, is south of where we were.
Quite a bit south.
I thought so. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Zarkan's almost a third player, geographically speaking. Okay.
Yes, Zarkan is the capital of Southern Reach, one of the 5 kingdoms of humans. So
Gift suddenly brightens up. We should find Billy Bones.
Oh, yeah.
He lives
Oh,
down here.
huh. They did say Zarkan, didn't they? I know I can't keep your human civilization separated. I'm sorry.
Gift shrugs.
Yeah, we can how does one look up Billy Bones? We'll figure it out. But yeah, what we weren't under orders to go to a specific town, were we?
no,
feel
you
like-
were following a lead, and
Yeah.
you're not quite sure where you would have ended up had you continued along the track. You don't know if Rusea was just a stopping point to somewhere else, or what's happening with that. You kind of lost that trail.
Okay.
Well, Gift has a theory based on thin evidence. She's totally committed to.
What is your theory?
Well, Gift probably can't tell you directly.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Just write it down on the board.
Gift thinks that the elves are preparing for war using the deep dwarves' weapons and a road that is clearly a way to move an army, which he has said in various ways.
Wait, hold on. Finn starts pulling out some red strings and handing them to you in individual things. Here, that'll help.
Please enjoy making your wall.
Elric has a bag of nails, and
Suddenly you're smoking a cigarette and talking about Carol and Pepe Sylvia. It's very strange.
So Finn, you hear a voice of Rami, and it says, "Are you dead? It took me a while to find a sending. Please respond with your location and I will extract you."
Oh, our driver, right. Forgot all about that.
Hey, Rami. We are at the border of Zarkan currently. I think you might just need to extract yourself and just head back to the kingdom. But thanks, though.
It cuts off before the things. You do not get a response back.
Gift lights up again and pulls off one of her birds and sends our location to my sister.
Oh. It folds itself up into a little bird and flits away. Do you just include your location that you're in Zarkan?
I mean, if the bird, you can write a proper letter, so probably like a brief description of the Underdark, and then our location, and that we're all still alive.
Okay. Okay. That'll take a while to get to them because it has to actually fly there.
Why?
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you so to describe the terrain here. So whereas Brambles and Versea, like Versea is kind of getting towards more of the coast, this place is very swampy. There seems to be lots of like small volcanoes in the distance, but the lowlands here where you are is incredibly swampy. The path seems to be okay, if a little bit muddy, but definitely the low points are, very riparian, like just typically flooded.
Okay.
But it's not hard to find the main path from this entrance to the Underdark.
I mean, I don't know if we need to do anything else, but we might as well check in on Billy Bones if he's here. So head to Zarkan, get a proper meal, get a bed to rest in.
Look for trouble. Billy will be there.
For sure. Also, he is going to love hearing about these cows.
Yeah, probably. All right. Let's head out. We don't have the cart anymore, right? Ox and cart went with Gan.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna walk. Gross. No, sorry.
Not that you weren't, not that you weren't going much faster than riding with Stubborn Bastard.
True.
Yeah, so you continue walking. It's getting to be like late evening. You're not gonna quite make it to Zarkan, not today. But you do make it to an outlying town. As you come into town, everyone make perception checks. The houses here are shoddily made of wood. They seem that they're put up quickly. They are slightly stilted above the ground.
It's a 19 for Finn.
19,
15.
15,
And 12.
and 12. Okay. So you are looking around. You're looking for a kind of a place to stay, and you do see an inn called the Alligator's Tooth, and an inn and tavern. And you see that there's not really anyone on the street. You see, Ben, you particularly see that people are like looking at you from behind windows and stuff. You seem to be the only people out in the street. There are people here for sure.
Y'all, I think they're expecting some sort of trouble here. Well, we want to walk cautiously into the Alligator's Tooth over there. They might be on pins and needles.
All right, you got it.
Gift nods, fully expects Billy Bones to be inside.
You
Finn.
Oh,
Oh,
go
sorry. I
ahead.
was going to
Go
say
ahead.
Finn goes first into the tavern.
Okay. You walk in and there isn't any music playing. The mood is very somber, but there are people here eating food, drinking their drinks. You see in the back corner a group of people in dark black leather cloaks, like leather. It's leather armor, but it's more cloak-like. And you see a familiar face among them, leaned back against the wall with a view of the whole place. Is the man that you saw was once an owlbear who tried to attack you after you removed that curse from him. And yeah, it's I believe he told you his name. His name is Jax. And he is here with a gang of very rowdy looking humans, all in these like leather jacket type situations, like padded leather armor.
Do any of them sport that very familiar symbol of the dragon cultists?
All of them do. They are. It is sewn into the armor itself.
Okie dokie.
As well, but it's wrapped around with a black dragon.
Interesting.
Which matches some of the iconography we've seen earlier, as far as like the black dragon being emphasized with Tiamat, etc. Just as a
Like-
reminder.
Yeah.
So like they're the only ones, kind of the only patrons in the bar.
They are not the only patrons, but people are definitely like not making eye contact with them. They are trying not to make a scene with them. It seems to be that they are the VIPs here, but other people are here eating and, doing their thing.
Have they noticed us?
They have not noticed you that you can tell.
Duck back out.
Huh. Yeah, Fenn's gonna just slowly back out as well, just real quick. Slowly, real quick. Anyway,
Yeah, I'll follow suit.
Elric says, are we not getting food? What's going on?
we might wanna. Fenn is doing this into everybody's heads. Just we might wanna, kindly, nicely approach some of the houses here instead. About seeing if we can't get some food. Elric, you might not have noticed, but this oh, you didn't meet this guy. Oh, he's a character. I then proceed to tell him about what happened in the forest, leaving out the dragon bits.
So he was an owlbear?
Yeah, cursed by a witch who we never met.
Oh, that
but,
guy.
He seemed like he deserved it. I don't like victim blaming by any means, but I don't think he was actually a victim.
Just to remind you, he did spit acid at you
Mhm.
at some point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was confusing him with the other, like the werebear.
Oh, yeah. No, that guy's not here. That's another asshole.
Also, do we get the vibe that the people in the town are on edge because of them or because of us? Or something unrelated?
Whatever they're on edge about seems to have preceded you.
Okay.
As you ponder this, let's go ahead and take a break. And we'll come back to this. So hey everybody, welcome back. Last we left our adventurers, y'all are currently in a small, you don't know the name of the town quite yet. But you're outside of the Alligator's Tooth, the inn, and you saw a familiar face. Somebody you don't quite know his allegiances, but yes, he was cursed by a witch, and he's now in this tavern with a large group of people.
Did we get a head count on the number of leather jackets?
I'm going to say about 10 of them.
Oh boy. All right.
That's way too many.
Yeah. I can understand why they'd be scared. I say we go to one of the houses here and just see, number one, if we can spend any time, and more than that, just gather some intelligence on how long this has been going on.
Okay.
All right.
I look. This is going to be a weird description, but Fenn's going to look for the most welcoming house.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
All right, this will go stellar.
Or an
Well,
insight check.
that's like
Insight
right down
might
the
be-
middle of the road, but I do have a +9 investigation, so that's a 19.
Oh, okay. Roads. And okay. With a 19, I guess you find a house as inviting as any of them. You haven't seen anyone give you an angry look through the window. You see lights inside.
Good start.
It's, so at least nobody's like worried about you being out there. So
Do we
Okay.
have any more like cheesy treats?
Did you get any more cheese from Corian?
Ben looks back at Gift.
Assuming that the one that was eaten was out of the cart, we have about 3/4 of a roll in the bag of holding.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if you want to lead with some cheese. I love D&D so much. I can't imagine if somebody just knocked on my door right now with like, hey, here's some cheese. Can I sleep in your house tonight? Sure, what the hell? Why not?
Let's keep the cheeses a backup. I think this the more straightforward answer is just that we can see, just let them know we can see there's something going on in town, and we're here to, we're curious what's going on and if we can help.
All right. So
Unless we don't want to help. Do I need to clarify that? Do we want to help?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I always love to be a nosy adventurer.
Okay.
I like to help where I'm needed.
so yeah, you come to this house. You have to, there's steps to a porch. The house is kind of this overlapping wood. The walls seem very thin. It has a faded whitewash over it. There are small windows in the front. It seems that the house is much longer going back than and very narrow in the front. And you knock on the door, and you hear a voice of a woman saying, "I already paid your fees."
We're actually not tax collectors. We're trying to find out what's going on in town. In fact, if we could have a moment of your time.
Make a persuasion check.
0. Okay, 17.
17. The dice have been kind to you tonight. So you hear her like open a deadbolt from the inside, and she opens the door and like she doesn't even look at you. She looks up and down the street, and then she says, "Get in." It is this older half-elven woman, very dark skin, and she says, "Get in."
Ben does not hesitate when she says that. Whip.
She closes the door behind you, locks a deadbolt, moves a brick in front of the door, and she says, "You're new in town?"
Yeah, we just recently came through. We got a little bit diverted from where we were heading, but we headed over to the alligator's tooth, and it there's something going on there with a group. We can tell. We're just not sure what. We wanted to get a little bit more information before we go headstrong into anything.
She looks you down. She says, "Well, you don't look like you're part of the acid guard."
The acid guard.
Yeah. She says, "Sit down," and she goes into her room, and she she has a pitcher of what seems to be tea, but it seems to be room temperature, and pours it for you. And she says, "The name's Gale. What's your names?"
I'm Fensiris. Hi.
Grief.
Gift.
And Elric says, "Oh, my name's Elric." He's looking a little uncomfortable, and he tries to find a place to set down his shield. And You're not so you're not going to cause me trouble, are you?
No. We're like I said, we're in town. We're trying to figure out what the trouble is in town. Because I mean, we came in and it was pretty obvious there's something going on. And whatever that group is in the tavern, everyone seems to be pretty worried about them.
Okay. She says, yeah, that's the acid guard. Some their leader is this guy named Jax Fletcher. He is he's a sweet talker. The rest of them, they ain't so sweet. He comes to town days after a dragon attack, knocked out a few farms on the outskirts, of a massive black dragon. He shows up in town, says he has a little private army. The kingdom hasn't sent anyone here to help us, so mayor says, yeah, we'll take your help. And that's where everything went wrong. They started assessing taxes for the town. The mayor's been holed up in his home for weeks now. No one's heard from him. Everyone who comes through, they either get run off or robbed. So we've just been sitting here waiting for anyone to come help us.
How big's their army?
All told, like, there's about 30 of them. This ain't a big place. We don't really have a lot of people who can fight back against them. They're well armed. They have a couple of spellcasters.
The sweet talker, Jax. Has his tune changed at all since, the original, or is he still pretending like this is all for your good?
He'll tell you to your face that this is all for the good of the town. Every time they come to collect taxes, he comes with a smile and a silver tongue, saying, oh, we have to be fed. We have to feed this army. What if another dragon comes? I'm starting to think that dragon wasn't an accident.
Gift nods.
I would say to trust your instincts on that one. Are you worried that the mayor is not alive? Is that why you mentioned that the mayor hasn't been seen, or is it just that the mayor hasn't been any help to the people?
He hasn't been any help.
Okay.
He could be dead. That's not outside the realm of possibility. We haven't seen him, but I assume he's just locked up. Feel like a dead mayor would be too big a news. And honestly, someone would have heard about it if he was dead.
Okay, another question for you. When is the Acid Guard most active, and when have they been least active? I don't know if you've been watching, but considering you've been locked up in your house, I'm assuming you don't have a ton else to do.
She kind of chuckles and says, wow, she says, look, they mostly hang out at the tavern at night. A few of them patrol during the day, a few of them patrol at night, but they seem to be hanging out there almost all the time. I'm pretty sure Jax is staying in one of the rooms there.
Okay. Well, we don't want to impose at all. And I don't want to speak for Grief or Gift or Elric here, but I think we do want to do what we can for the town. I think it's going to take a little bit of planning. I have a couple of thoughts on what we could do, but we might need to, I don't know, just watch what they do for a little bit before we, go headstrong. It's just 4 of us against 30. That seems like a bad odds to me. But again, I think I got some thoughts. Especially the swamps around here. There's dangerous creatures in the swamps, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
bears, alligators. Somebody's seen a manticore. I'm not sure if that's real.
Ooh. Huh. All right.
I'm sorry, hon.
That's
Right, Stone.
okay.
If he sleeps here, we should deal with him that way.
Look, y'all look strong. If you are willing to lend a sword, I might be able to make something work for you. I know the lady who runs the tavern. Might be able to coordinate something. You're the first. I don't know how you managed to stay in town as long as you have, long enough to knock on my door, but good on you.
Gift nods. Looks at you, Finn, and says, "Wouldn't be honorable to sneak in when he's sleeping and just take him to, make this quick." Then she winks.
Yeah, we could do that, but I actually have another thought about that. And Fen is going to start having a conversation in your head real quick, leaving her out of it, just to not give away too much, I guess. But just we know Jax. We know he was cursed by a witch. I don't know exactly what she sounds like, but if I can get in eyesight of him without him seeing me, I think I can draw him out.
Gift nods.
But I think you're right. I think we do need to make that a nighttime excursion when the other guards are sleeping. And then out loud, I will say, yeah, if we could coordinate with the innkeeper, if I could manage to sneak in, I think I could draw out the leader. I'm guessing the entire group will be disheartened without a leader.
Probably. They're not all that bright. He definitely seems to be the important one. I know a few of them that'll probably fight for power after, but shouldn't be. We should be able to run him out of town at that point.
I guess one other question is there any sort of alarm in your village to get people either to take up arms or to get to safety?
Well, we have a bell at the temple.
Okay. I'm just thinking there might be, if push comes to shove, it might be good to let them know if the acid guard starts fighting back because they lost their leader. Somebody might want to be on hand to ring the bell to protect the villagers, because that could go the opposite direction pretty easily.
Yeah, we could absolutely sound the alarm, get all the vulnerable folks out of the way. I'm sure a few people are wanting to fight back if we can get them on the wrong foot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The more people willing to fight, the easier it'll be.
So the only problem is if that dragon has anything to do with them. But hopefully it won't come to that.
Right.
It will most definitely come to,
It's I can
or at least
almost
we have to act as if it will.
Yeah. Just to clear, you mentioned earlier that the kingdom didn't send anyone to protect the town. Did you mean Zarkan specifically, or were you expecting help from elsewhere?
Let me see.
I don't know the power of Zarkan.
The so the well the southern reaches a few principalities with a king, and the king is in Zarkan and controls the military overall. Our principality is ruled by the crown princess Ursula, the direct heir to the throne.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone's managed to get a message out without the acid guard noticing, but so far we've got nothing from them.
Gift, do you have to know the person that you're sending a message to, or is a name enough?
She shrugs. She doesn't actually know.
Yeah, your sister just handed you these, and you can use these to talk to me. Yeah. I don't think you know. Make who's proficient in this would be Arcana for sure.
Nope, I have religion.
That I'm proficient in.
Go ahead and roll.
16.
16. You're right. You have to speak a creature's name. So that's how you send it. You speak their name and it goes to them.
I assume he passes that information on.
You just have to, yeah, you just gotta know their name. Sorry, I zoned out
Okay.
for a second.
So, if we write a note to the queen explaining dragon attack in this village, followed by bullying by a group that's doing an extortion racket, town may need protection once extortion racket is removed from the dragon specifically.
Yeah. Gift will write, look at Gale and what's the name of this town?
Oh, this is I had it just a moment ago. This is Stork's Run.
She writes out to queen or princess, etc. Care of court vizier, because I'd rather send it to the wizard, which I can't do directly, but that way it's polite. Character's backstory, I can definitely write a proper court letter, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I write a proper missive sent to the court.
I feel like you get out the good ink.
Mm-hmm. No, I know how to do. Details, specifics, and honorifics.
Yeah.
And she shows it to the team.
Very impressed.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check at advantage.
All righty. Dice don't fail me. Okay, and 19 was the first roll and the higher of the two.
19? It's a very fine letter.
She smiles, goes to the window, pats the piece of paper, sends it off.
Yeah, you send it off to Princess Ursula.
Good. All right. Gail, do you think we can get communication to the barkeep about getting in there tonight, or should we wait a day?
She says, that's up to you. I can go talk to her right now.
I guess the other question is, because I don't think so. I want to be full honesty here. We've seen Jax before. We know he's a terrible person. We didn't know the group he was running with. But that said, because he would recognize the three of us specifically, we want to hang out somewhere where we're not being seen for right now. Are you okay with us staying in your house while you go and do this?
Yeah, don't break anything.
Okay, can do.
Gift goes to Gale, like holds up her hand, and she casts disguise self at will into a half elf. Then she turns herself back, and she says, "I have tricks sometimes. Don't be alarmed."
Okay.
Figures she shouldn't transform without warning.
Thanks for letting me know.
I can do that
I
too.
can't do that. I'm just a dragonborn all the time.
Elric says, I also can't do that.
The fact that two of us can do that at will is actually incredible.
Seriously, it's great.
Yeah, she says, yeah, I don't really have beds for you, but you can sleep on the floor or hang around here. And it's very modest in here, very simple furniture. There's not much floor. There's not much space between the floor and the ground. You can see there's holes in the floor. Yeah, it's a very comfortable but modest home. So, and she says, so what exactly is your plan? So I know what to convey here.
Once Jax is asleep, I need to be, or once Jax heads for bed, along with the rest of the Acid Guard, I need to be able to get in there. If there's a window in his room, that'll be enough, but I need to get eyes on Jax. Because, well, I can't do those tricks. I've got some tricks to get in Jax's head. And we just happen to know a dark secret about him. That he might be genuine and nice to you all, even as he's being evil. But he's got a vendetta. And I want to use that against him. But I got to be able to see him to do that.
Okay. I can figure out where his room is for you, and I can have her let me know when he's gone to sleep, and you can go do your thing.
Great.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, so she says, lock up behind me.
Of course.
And she will move the brick in front of the door and open the door and head out.
Gift will lock up behind her.
Elric has mending as a cantrip. And I like to think that he would go around as soon as she's gone and try to mend the little spots in the floor for her.
He definitely would. He'll do like the small things, like, points where like the wall is worn, or like where door jams are worn away and stuff. He would do some minor mending. It's just good hospitality.
Yep, anything that's no larger than a foot in dimension.
Gift starts whistling and cooking.
She has a wide selection of pots and pans to work with here, so
excellent. And Gift has ingredients.
Yeah. She comes back no more than 20 minutes later, with a bowl full of food. It's just a small, like, personal bowl. Like, she went and got some food from the tavern and came back, and she knocks on the door. Like, she lightly knocks on the door to let you know she's in and to unlock the door.
I'll open it.
Okay. She comes in and she steps, and the board doesn't creak like it used to, and she looks at it for a moment, and then she looks at And I imagine Elric is still actually actively mending something when she comes in, and she's like, she just gives a squint and shuts the door and locks it.
Think
Um,
French onion soup. I've got ingredients for that. It's quick too.
That was a really brilliant cover of getting food from the inn. How much did that cost? Because I want to cover that.
Why? This is my dinner.
Yeah, I mean, but you're doing it for us, so
Yeah, look, y'all are already doing enough. I'm not gonna owe anyone like that. I'm not into that.
okay, all right. So did you what room is he staying in, and does he have a window?
Yep, his room has a window. His room's the only one with 2 windows, in fact.
That was the roguiest of rogue questions. Does he have a window?
Good. Okay.
She says, so tavern keeper says he usually doesn't turn in until well after midnight. So probably gonna have to wait here for a little while.
Okay.
That onion soup?
She nods cheerfully.
Why did I get this crap then?
She shakes her head, points at her soup, and smiles.
She will come and like she doesn't even really ask you. She like pulls a spoon
It's
and
her
like
house.
just tries some. I mean, you're using her pans, so.
Right. Well, based on what she learned from the innkeepers in the other town, onion soup should be very doable with the carrots and onions I found.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Gift, did you use any of the cheese from the Flying Sea? The
She
Flying Sea Ranch?
she writes out, going to add it at the very end.
Got it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So yeah, you have delicious food with a surprising friend. You've rolled really high on that investigation check. You did not find someone hostile, so and Gail was ready to like, yeah, let's take him down. We'll do it tonight. Been long enough. Where have you been?
I've already, it's been 2 weeks. Come on, we have work to do.
All right.
So go ahead.
So tonight, once we get signal, Gift, Grief, Elric, I'm gonna call Jax out to behind the tavern. He's gonna be looking for the witch. And I think at that point, if we can, separate him from his group, we can make him question his belonging here in town.
Gift nods.
So we'll want to head quietly once the time comes. Gift, you might want to appear in the form of one of the dangerous creatures that I don't know if you know how to do that, but you might want to use the environment to possibly scare away any guards.
Gift nods. Of the listed creatures, she has seen one of them. That would be a bear. I don't think she's seen an alligator from where she's lived, but bear, absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely seen a bear. So that's
Brown bear is CR1. I looked it up in advance.
okay. Yeah, you can easily turn into a bear.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. It gets late enough, and eventually there is a knock on the door, and a young human woman is at the door. Gail answers it just by cracking the door and gives a little nod and shuts the door. Well, it's time.
Okay. Gail, I didn't ask you this. You don't happen to have like a crossbow or a bow or anything that you could use? Do you?
She says, she's got a little short bow for hunting.
Perfect. I'm just thinking if you take that up to the tower where the bell's at, that way you can ring the bell, let the townsfolk know, and also provide some air support, potentially.
I can do that.
Excellent. All right. Everybody understand the plan?
Yep.
All right. Give me stealth checks. I believe Elric does so at disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Invisibility. Poof.
Oh, give me a stealth check at advantage.
So that's a 13 stealth for Finn, unfortunately.
16 for me for grief.
Okay.
The stealth check is only an 8, but I am visually invisible.
Right.
Elric has a -1 in stealth, but you said he has to roll a disadvantage?
Yes, because he has clanky armor.
Okay, so 8 -1, 7.
Okay. And what did you get, Grief, again? 16?
I think so. Once I give it to you, it leaves if I have to give you a secondary number. Sorry.
16 feels right.
Dyscalculia.
It was
Yeah,
was
I'm
definitely
basically
better than
certain
mine.
it was.
Yeah. Okay. And Fen, what did you got?
I had a 13.
13. Okay. All right. So you begin to head out from her home, and you're not far from the tavern to begin with. So you walk over and duck into the alleyway. Elric is a little behind, and he's a little clinky, and you hear a voice of a woman say, "Hey, stop right there." Doesn't seem to spot you three. Well, it's almost impossible to spot gift, but spots Elric, and Elric just stops and says, and like gives you like an eye, like go ahead. And he turns around and says, yeah, good. Giving me a deception check for Elric.
5.
Oh boy.
He says, I'm lost. I don't know where I am. And you all have like moved into the alley, and he's still kind of on the street.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, Fenn is looking back to like as little as she can to see if this person he's talking to is wearing one of the leather jackets.
Yeah, give me a perception check, as you'll have to kind of crane around.
Well, that's not going to help much. That's an 8.
You can't tell. It's very dark here on the street.
Hopefully.
And go ahead.
No, I say hopefully Finn's going to keep going.
Hey, you all like if Elric needs backup, jump in, y'all. I'm getting Jax.
All right. We will resolve what's happening with just for the sake of time. We'll resolve what's happening with Elric in a moment. I want to get to what Fen is doing. And so Fen, you go around and like the inn and rooms are all kind of set out in a square. He has like the only corner room in the back. And there are 2 windows, and he seems like kind of half drunk, and you look in the window and you're fairly well hidden, and he's not looking too hard. So he kind of half drunkenly stumbles into his bed and lays down and kind of gets himself comfortable.
I'm gonna look at him, establish connection, and then hide around the corner as I speak to him here. Jax, it's been a while. I see you've left my forest. Didn't I tell you specifically you cannot leave?
Make a this is pushing it because you've never heard this woman's voice. Make a
True.
deception check. Make a deception check at disadvantage.
All right.
That's legitimate.
You mean to tell me all hags don't sound the same?
Oh, that's awful. There's a nat
Hey, and
20
for
in
those
here.
nat
But
20s?
there's also a 4.
Oh,
So
Oh,
that'll
disadvantage
be a
sucks.
4 deception.
He darts up in his bed and he says, "Who is this?"
I'm waiting for you outside. Come and find out. Because I want to make sure that you return to where you belong, my little owl bear.
Make an intimidation check now.
Oh, okay. That almost rolled the wrong direction. That's a 15.
15. He says, "All right, ma'am. I can do that." And he's going to make a perception check as he's looking around. He looks around and make an insight check.
Wow. All right. That was a 20.
At
Not
20, you think he spotted you. You managed to duck away fairly quickly as he scans the windows, but you think he spotted you. You can hear the floorboards creak. You can hear his door shut, open, and then shut again.
Before anything else happens, I want to say I appreciate that Finn is actually good aligned. Because my plan was to wait for him to fall asleep and coup de grace him.
Yep.
But before anything else happens, I just want to say I appreciate that you're actually good aligned.
Funny thing is, I don't even wait. Hang on, let me check. No, it's the lawful aligned that I'm having problems with actually, because I'm neutral.
Yeah, an assassination doesn't fall within the lawful things. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, you say you main clerics usually.
Yep. Well, main healers.
Main healers.
Bards
Okay.
a lot.
Okay.
Druids.
Yeah. Okay. Jaden plays rogues in our other games and would have handled this very differently.
Regardless of class, all of my characters are politically expedient.
That's fair. Yeah.
All my characters go assassin real fast. I may or may not use D&D to work out my shit. I don't know.
That's fine. I use D&D to heal my friends.
That's beautiful. I love it.
It is.
I truly love that. Yeah, so you wait for him to come outside, I guess.
Yeah, I'm thinking that he has seen me. As quietly as I can, I'm going to scale the building.
Okay. Give me a quick acrobatics check.
Goodness gracious, I hope there's not a blue dragon on the horizon.
I was going to say there's no lightning so far, so this might work out okay.
Oh gosh. Get back up there. Well, okay. You said acrobatics, right?
Yep.
Okay. So with a 5 on the die, that's a 16. Because that's my broken stat.
You easily, off of, a dumpster of some sort, just work your way onto the top. It's only one level. It's not, it's not this big 2-level place. So most of the buildings here are just single level. And yeah, he comes around the corner. Give me, since you're at a new vantage point, give me a perception check.
Okay. That would be a 12.
12. He's not exactly hiding. He walks out, and you can tell, like, back off like 10 feet is 3 more of his lackeys.
Mm-hmm. Only
Grief
3.
and Gift, you definitely see it. You definitely see him walk into this alley.
So there's like 4 of them walking in the alley.
Yes, and at this point, Elric is the woman who called out to him has like caught up to him and is like grabbed his front armor, grabbed the chainmail at his front and is like accosting him.
Ooh.
Can you
And
tell yet if she's one of these people?
at this point, you can tell that she is one of the enforcers. Yeah.
Okay.
And now that we're in this pickle, that's where we're going to call it for tonight.
That's
Okay.
reasonable.
That's fair.
Quick question before we wrap up here.
Yes.
Did we get a long rest in at any point while we were waiting for night to fall? Because we haven't had a long rest since, you know, the dragon fight, as far as I know. Otherwise,
I would say you've had enough time to have a long rest. I'll give you a long rest.
okay.
Sweet. I am going to be changing spells up retroactively.
Gotcha.
I
Yeah.
won't change them to be specifically advantageous to the situation, but I've been waiting to change them.
You would have had, yeah. I mean, like you can play it a little bit because we're planning to come do this. So
Fair.
yeah.
Obviously, I'm
bad.
going to keep invisibility.
Yeah. Yes.
Do that.
and definitely keep that marked spell slot. So
Yeah, 100%.
cool. Yeah, that's where we're
Awesome.
gonna call things for tonight. So
Take long rest.
I mean, would it be D&D without a plan just going wrong immediately?
yeah.
I mean, that's exactly how it goes.
Yes.
Every time.
I mean, like most D&D parties struggle with locked doors, so like it's not hard to make a plan go awry for a D&D party.
True.
Few things more dangerous than a river without a bridge to a D&D party. I've lost
Hmm.
so many clerics in heavy armor.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. All right. So this was a ton of fun. I enjoy playing this game and running this game. Let's go and do our outros. We'll start with you, Silver.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Silver_Bulette here on Twitch as well as on YouTube. Several Mondays, I won't say most Mondays because that wouldn't be true, but several Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, we run Capes and Caverns over on my Twitch channel. It is a game that is superheroes in a D&D-like setting. It is an overlay that I created, and we are currently playing a set of newscasters turned superheroes. They're trying to figure out what's going on with the world and report on it at the same time. So that it should be 8:30, hopefully tomorrow Pacific time. And then I also am in charge of All the Webs a Stage, which is a short play podcast, which I'm hoping to get back on its feet at some point. But there are currently 26 or so episodes out in the world right now. If you want to listen to them, you can find them wherever good podcasts are found. And also my podcast. Anyway, that's me.
All right, awesome. Jaden.
Hey, I'm Jaden or Soliloquy. You can find me on most platforms under the username Sapphic Bro. I mostly hang out on TikTok and make a variety of different types of content. So come hang out with me.
Awesome. And Penny.
All right. The main place to find me is at outasmouths.itch.io. I make plugins for both Dragon Ruby and RPG Maker. If that's something you ever need help with, let me know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and being here.
Awesome. And I'm Archangelic. You can find me here Sunday nights at 7:30 Pacific running this game for these wonderful folks here. You can also find many links for me on my website, archangelic.space. If you've missed any of our games, you can check them out on YouTube. The link is in the chat, and it's also in the channel description. We also have a podcast that I still haven't uploaded more episodes to, but we have like 11 episodes on the podcast. So if you need to catch up from the beginning, you can start there. Just search Era of the Dragons wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to support this game and other possible future projects, you can support me on Patreon. The link is in the chat. I actually don't have that link. That's fine. It's in the channel description as well. And lastly, thank you, Dot User, for helping us stream this show. Our lovely producer, we all appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you all for tuning in. We love you, and we hope to see you next week. Bye.